In the heart of autumn, when the chill wind whispered secrets through the skeletal branches of trees and the moon hung low and full in the ink-black sky, the small town of Ravenswood stirred with an uneasy anticipation. Halloween approached, and with it, tales of the supernatural danced like shadows in the minds of its inhabitants. Among the tales whispered in hushed tones around flickering campfires and over mugs of steaming cider, none sent shivers down spines quite like the legend of the vampires. Stories passed down through generations spoke of immortal beings who thrived in darkness, emerging from their hidden lairs to prey upon the unsuspecting under the cloak of night. It was on the eve of Halloween that strange happenings began to unsettle Ravenswood. Residents reported sightings of a mysterious figure lurking in the shadows, its silhouette tall and sinuous, its eyes gleaming like polished onyx in the dim light. Whispers of dread swept through the town like wildfire, and soon, fear became a palpable presence, lingering in the air like a heavy fog. Amidst the growing unease, a group of intrepid teenagers, drawn together by a shared curiosity and a reckless sense of adventure, decided to investigate the rumors that plagued their town. Among them was Sarah, a fearless girl with fiery determination etched into the lines of her face, and Ethan, her steadfast companion, whose skepticism masked a deep-rooted fascination with the supernatural. Armed with little more than flashlights and nerves of steel, they ventured into the heart of Ravenswood on the eve of Halloween, the moon casting an ethereal glow upon the cobblestone streets. As they delved deeper into the labyrinthine alleys and forgotten corners of the town, the air grew thick with an oppressive sense of foreboding. It was then that they stumbled upon a dilapidated mansion nestled amidst a thicket of gnarled trees, its windows boarded up and its walls cloaked in shadows. The sight sent a chill racing down Sarah's spine, but she refused to falter, her determination burning brighter than ever. With cautious steps, they approached the decrepit mansion, the floorboards creaking beneath their weight. As they reached for the rusted handle of the front door, a sudden gust of wind sent a shiver through the air, and the door swung open with a low, ominous groan. Heart pounding in her chest, Sarah led the way into the darkness, her flashlight cutting through the gloom like a beacon of hope. But the deeper they ventured into the bowels of the mansion, the more the air seemed to thicken, suffocating them with its heavy silence. And then, they saw it a figure draped in shadow, its eyes gleaming with an otherworldly hunger. With a hiss that sent a shudder down their spines, it lunged forward, fangs bared in a grotesque mockery of a smile. In that moment, time seemed to stand still as fear coiled around them like a serpent, threatening to consume them whole. But just as all hope seemed lost, a voice echoed through the darkness, a voice that spoke of salvation and redemption, of a power older than time itself. And with that, the story of Ravenswood and its dark secrets took a turn that none could have foreseen, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and unresolved mysteries that lingered in the minds of those who dared to remember. As the voice reverberated through the darkness, the figure recoiled, its sinister presence momentarily subdued. Sarah and Ethan exchanged bewildered glances, their hearts racing with a mixture of fear and curiosity. Stepping forward from the shadows, a figure emerged, a man cloaked in an aura of ancient wisdom, his eyes burning with an intensity that seemed to pierce through the veil of night itself. He spoke of a forgotten prophecy, of a darkness that threatened to engulf the world, and of a chosen few who held the key to its salvation. Drawn in by his words, Sarah and Ethan listened intently as he revealed the true nature of the vampires that haunted Ravenswood, their origins steeped in myth and legend, their existence tied to an ancient curse that had plagued the land for centuries. But as he spoke, a sense of urgency gripped them, for the darkness that loomed on the horizon was unlike anything they had ever faced before. With each passing moment, its malevolent presence grew stronger, threatening to consume everything in its path. Determined to uncover the truth and confront the looming threat head-on, Sarah and Ethan pledged to join forces with the mysterious stranger, setting aside their fears and doubts in the face of the greater good. Together, they embarked on a perilous journey, a journey that would take them to the very heart of darkness itself. But as they ventured deeper into the unknown, they soon realized that the true enemy lurked not in the shadows of Ravenswood, but within the depths of their own souls. For in the battle against darkness, the line between friend and foe blurred, and the greatest danger of all lay not in the vampires that stalked the night, but in the darkness that dwelled within. And so, as the eve of Halloween descended upon Ravenswood once more, the stage was set for a final confrontation, a showdown between light and darkness, between hope and despair. But whether Sarah, Ethan, and their newfound ally would emerge victorious or fall prey to the encroaching shadows remained to be seen. For in the world of the supernatural, where the line between reality and myth blurred and secrets lurked in every shadow, the only certainty was uncertainty itself. And as the night wore on and the darkness deepened, the fate of Ravenswood hung in the balance, its future veiled in mystery and intrigue. As the trio delved deeper into the heart of Ravenswood's mysteries, they uncovered ancient tomes and whispered prophecies that spoke of a time when the barrier between the mortal realm and the world of darkness would be shattered. They learned of an ancient ritual, long forgotten by all but a few, that held the power to seal away the darkness once and for all. But as they raced against time to unravel the secrets of the ritual, they found themselves pursued by sinister forces hell-bent on stopping them at any cost. Shadows seemed to stir at the edges of their vision, and whispers followed them wherever they went, a constant reminder of the danger that lurked in the darkness. With each step they took, the line between reality and myth blurred further, and they found themselves questioning everything they thought they knew. Who could they trust in a world where deception lay around every corner, and allies could easily become enemies? As the night of Halloween drew near, tension hung in the air like a thick fog, suffocating them with its oppressive weight. And as they prepared to confront the darkness that threatened to consume Ravenswood, they knew that their journey was far from over. For the true test lay not in the battles they would face, but in the strength of their convictions and the bonds that held them together. And as they stood on the brink of destiny, they knew that the choices they made would shape not only their own fate but the fate of all who called Ravenswood home. But whether they would emerge triumphant or succumb to the darkness that lurked within remained to be seen. For in the world of vampires and ancient curses, nothing was ever as it seemed, and the only certainty was uncertainty itself. As the eve of Halloween descended upon Ravenswood, the town was cloaked in an eerie silence, broken only by the distant howl of the wind and the faint rustle of leaves. Sarah, Ethan, and their enigmatic ally knew that the time had come to confront the darkness that threatened to engulf their world. Armed with ancient knowledge and steely determination, they made their way to the heart of the town, where the ancient ritual was said to take place. But as they reached the designated spot, they were met with a chilling sight: the town square bathed in an unnatural darkness, tendrils of shadow reaching out like grasping fingers. With a sense of foreboding weighing heavily on their hearts, they prepared to perform the ritual, their minds racing with doubts and uncertainties. But before they could take a single step forward, they were confronted by a figure emerging from the shadows, a figure they had hoped never to see again. It was none other than Marcus, a childhood friend who had vanished without a trace years ago, only to return now as a servant of the darkness they sought to vanquish. His eyes burned with an unholy light as he stepped forward, his voice dripping with malice as he taunted them with promises of power and glory. Sarah's heart clenched with sorrow and disbelief as she gazed upon the friend she had once known, now twisted and corrupted by the forces of evil. But she knew that there was no turning back now. They had come too far to falter in the face of adversity. With a heavy heart, she raised her voice in defiance, calling upon the power of the ancient ritual to banish the darkness once and for all. But as the words left her lips, a tremor ran through the earth, and the very air seemed to crackle with malevolent energy. In that moment, Sarah realized the true nature of the darkness that had plagued Ravenswood. It was not an external threat, but a reflection of the darkness that dwelled within the hearts of all who called the town home. And as she looked into Marcus's eyes, she saw the truth staring back at her, a truth she could no longer deny. With a heavy heart and tears streaming down her cheeks, Sarah knew that the battle against darkness was far from over. For as long as there were shadows to hide in and secrets to keep, the darkness would always find a way to creep back in, lurking in the depths of the human soul, waiting for its chance to strike again. And as the night of Halloween faded into memory, the town of Ravenswood was left to grapple with the aftermath of their struggle, a struggle that had not only tested their courage and resolve, but had revealed the true cost of confronting the darkness that lay within. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Ravenswood was shrouded in a somber silence. The once thriving town now bore the scars of the battle against the darkness, its streets empty and its buildings standing as silent witnesses to the horrors that had unfolded. Sarah, Ethan, and their allies stood amidst the wreckage, their hearts heavy with the weight of their failure. Despite their best efforts, The darkness had proven to be a formidable foe, its tendrils reaching deeper than they could have ever imagined. But amidst the despair, a flicker of hope remained, a glimmer of light in the darkness that threatened to consume them all. For as long as there were those willing to fight, there was still a chance to reclaim what had been lost. With newfound determination burning in their hearts, they vowed to continue their quest to seek out the truth, no matter where it led them, and to confront the darkness head-on, whatever the cost. And as they set out into the unknown, their path illuminated by the light of their resolve, they knew that the battle against darkness was far from over. But with each step forward, they moved closer to uncovering the secrets that lay hidden in the shadows and to finding the redemption they so desperately sought. For in the world of vampires and ancient curses, where the line between reality and myth blurred and secrets lurked in every shadow, the only certainty was uncertainty itself. And as the night wore on and the darkness deepened, the fate of Ravenswood hung in the balance, its future veiled in mystery and intrigue. As Sarah, Ethan, and their ally ventured forth into the unknown, their determination burned brighter than ever before. With each passing day, they uncovered new clues and forged new alliances, drawing strength from the knowledge that they were not alone in their fight against the darkness. Slowly but surely, they began to chip away the veil of mystery that shrouded Ravenswood, unraveling its secrets one by one. And with each secret revealed, they grew closer to understanding the true nature of the darkness that threatened their town. With unwavering courage and steadfast resolve, they confronted the darkness head-on, facing their fears and overcoming obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. And as they did, they discovered that the power to banish the darkness lay not in ancient rituals or mystical artifacts, but within themselves. United in purpose and bound by friendship, Sarah, Ethan, and their ally stood as beacons of hope in the face of despair. And as they fought side by side, they forged a bond that was stronger than any darkness could ever hope to break. In the end, it was not a grand battle or a heroic sacrifice that saved Ravenswood from the clutches of darkness, but the collective strength of its people, their courage, their resilience, and their unwavering belief in the power of light to triumph over darkness. And so, as the dawn broke over Ravenswood once more, its streets bathed in the warm glow of the morning sun, a sense of peace settled over the town. The darkness had been banished, its hold broken by the indomitable spirit of those who called Ravenswood home. As life returned to normalcy and laughter once again filled the air, Sarah, Ethan, and their ally knew that their journey was far from over. But as they looked to the future, they did so with hope in their hearts, knowing that no matter what trials lay ahead, they would face them together. For in the end, it was not the darkness that defined Ravenswood, but the light that shone within its people, a light that would continue to burn bright, even in the darkest of times. And as they stood together, united in purpose and bound by friendship, they knew that no darkness could ever hope to extinguish the light of hope that burned within them all.